this is a pretty solid hand. This is a 4-bet pot.
4-bet pot.
So yeah, like a small flush in that capacity would be a pretty good hand to raise for value and get value from specifically a jack. And if you get jammed on, you just have a pretty easy fold.
This it? You hear that?
That's the truck.
That's the
truck backing up. The truck might be backing up.
Doug Polk with the 4-bet, left-hand table, $20,000 pot.
Do we have like a crashing like sound? Like if Daniel wins this pot?
Do
you have like a
We got something else for you though, trust me.
Yes.
Doug with the
quarter
Doug,
pot.
Here we
very
go.
Standard. Very standard quarter pot.
So 10-10 deuce, 4-bet pot. Very standard quarter pot. We're left-hand.
All in for 3.5x. Douglas.
Holy shit.
Oh, gets it done.
Daniel folds. Left-hand table. What's Doug gonna do? $28,000 pot, $25,000 behind.
In spots like this, you either want to like check because stacked pot's so low, or you want to like place another small bet. Like maybe go like 20%, 25%, and then set up like a pretty small river jam.
Well, let's see what he does here, kid.
Let's see what happens.
Backdoor flush gets there. Daniel checks.
There will be a winner in this pot.
There's someone to win.
Daniel quads! Quads! Just quads, huh?
What the hell is this guy have quads for?
I'm pretty sure. So
what the hell is
the thing that I'm more interested in about that hand, to be honest, is like tens is a pretty clear jam pre for 100 big blinds. Like he just called the four. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
tens.
Like tens out of position is just one of those hands where you probably have the best hand. If you're coolered, you're coolered, but you just kind of you put the money in.
You know what's funny is I went out to there because I went there over there to say what's up to Doug and just kind of check out the set. The set was beautiful. It was a great production. Shout out to Poker Central and Gigi for putting that on. And
that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, and I like watched him, right? Oh, all in!
All in!
Aces! First two pair!
What's gonna happen?
Back up the truck!
Back up the truck! Back up the truck!
Put it on!
Ay, yakaramosa! Back up the truck. Oh.
Back it up! Back it up! Just like that, Doug Polk.
Just
takes
like
down the large pot. Biggest pot of the session so far.
Honestly, I wanted the king to come so this moment would happen. Like this moment in time.
Papi, Colamosa, Daniel's in shambles over there.
Just aces, huh?
So Daniel, tricky there with the queen 5. I mean, a little crafty old veteran called it a 3-bet there. So
yeah,
Doug,
it's pretty. It's like 100% call.
Doug 3-bets.
It's 100% call.
Daniel calls. Daniel flops 2 pair. You know he's rock hard.
So yeah.
Chips it in standard.
I think in this spot it's pretty good because you're unblocking the king that just pays it off. And like if he's a hand like ace king, he's obviously gonna get the money in. And if he is, we're gonna want to have hands like our suited draws that also want to just realize all of our equity, because most of the time Doug might just pile the turn, and then you just only get to see 1 card instead of 2.
Someone said something about who we're rooting for in the chat. I mean, I'm just rooting for good hands, good action, right? I always have been friends with Doug since 2008, so I'm gonna be rooting for Doug, but I'm not necessarily rooting for. I don't know. I mean, how do you not cheer for your friend, right? What kind of sick fucks are you? You guys don't cheer for your friends. You watch them play because you're commentating on YouTube. Like, it doesn't make much sense, right? Landon's impartial. You know, he knows Doug. He knows Daniel. He just wants to see good hands. This kid wants to see some optimal hands being played, and he wants to break them down. That's what he's here for.
I want to see some.
He loves it.
Actually, I like the spicy hands too, though.
Yeah, he loves the spicy hands.
Like the bet 3 bets.
Yeah. Like
the small bet. I actually had a pretty fun hand I played in the tournament yesterday, 3-handed.
Yeah.
Where I
after this 3-bet pot, you want to tell us about it?
Sure, yeah.
So I want to hear about it. Even though I think I was there.
It was when I KO'd the guy.
Yeah.
I KO'd him.
So Doug, 3 bets, C bets flop, turn.
This is gonna be a pretty high frequency check for Doug. He just doesn't have that many 7s, but if he does, he wants to protect and have a 7. There it is. Daniel might check back and also have some stabs because he has a lot of 7s that do call the flop, like 5-7, 6-7, 7-4 suited at some small percentage.
So let's see what happens. Daniel does bet very small,
3,600.
It's a lot of pressure on Doug. Let's see what Doug's gonna do. He does check call. River's a 9. Backdoor flush gets there. Pot size bet left for Daniel Negreanu.
So, yeah, if Doug like backdoors a flush here, he shouldn't be leading, because if Daniel has a 7, he should be value betting it, because it's just Doug just kind of has some bluff catchy type of 2-pair, some small percentage of the time, and would just fold over pairs regardless. Here he goes.
He goes all in.
Here he goes. Get the sound effects potentially. Doug might just call with like aces with a diamond.
Yeah, can he hero call here? Daniel's telling him he's got a straight. Could have a backdoor flush as well too. Let's see what is Doug Polk gonna do. $26,000 bet. He 3-bet pre-flop, bet the flop, check call turn, and now faces an all-in on the river. This could be Daniel Negreanu's time to get some momentum back in the match, take down $8,000 pot himself, and try to get back to even for today's session.
It looks like Doug might be thinking about a very, very speculative bluff catch. Like, it seems like he might find a hand, like maybe like a hand like pocket 8s, blocking 7-8.
Ooh, okay.
But I doubt it. But Doug's known to not believe, if you will. Ace king with the ace of diamonds.
Nice hand for Daniel. Takes that down. So do you right? He was contemplating the hero call there. And,
get it going! Get it going! Get it going! Where's the sound?
The truck.
The truck is swerving.
The truck rolled over and died, passed away. Poor truck. Just like that, Daniel Negreanu.
That's actually a really good value bet by Daniel with the deuces for the deuce straight.
What do you mean?
Daniel,
Is that not normal? A standard bet on the river with the bottom straight?
I think it's very easy to get in your own head and check it back because you think that you're not going to get called by worse. But it's obviously not the case.
Yeah, I mean, aren't you getting called? So once Doug check calls there, he's saying he has flush draws over pairs, right?
Flush draws over pairs and then some 7x.
Flush draws over pairs 7x.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, if you're not value betting deuces here, you know, the Nolan Hold'em
I got some chucks for sale.
we call this Nolan Hold'em hat. It's a legendary hat on my content, and Landon has decided to take it on. Normally, I wear this hat when I watch Nolan Hold'em, but let me see if the hat looks better on. Guys, now you've seen that, right? Let's see if the hat looks better on. What do you guys think? B, you guys give me your votes. 1 in the chat if you think Landon looks better with the hat on. 2 if you think I look better with the hat on. Okay. Pick up the action here, guys. Looks like Doug up a little bit of money right now. Wouldn't say he's up a ton, though. But he is going to pull off a nice little nifty check raise on the left-hand side.
Doug's going for that spicy check raise.
See what happens here. Backdoor flush gets there. 9-10 gets there.
It's more prevalent of backdoor straights and flushes getting there, of course. Like the 5-7 getting there is not really. I'll have to see the whole hand again, but straights and flushes getting there are not the greatest for Daniel because he's going to have less by comparison. Daniel might throw in a spicy little all-in with a hand like ace 10.
Daniel's not going to go all in here.
A little all-in with the ace of diamonds.
The guy's never
10
going
of
all.
hearts.
If he goes all in, I'll play tournaments for 1 week. Okay? He calls.
With Jack 8. Doug turns his hand into a bluff. Daniel gets it done.
Daniel. Great call by Daniel Negreanu right there.
The King 8 seems spice. There is some spice here with the King 8.
Very.
I think he might just be like min-betting range to some capacity. Like just betting really small, like a 20% pot with overall range. So he's going to have queens and he's going to have jacks. But it definitely is a little interesting.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
I'm sure.
When we say bet with overall range, meaning that he's going to min-bet with whatever hand he has. Meaning if he has aces, if he has top pair, if he's got no pair. So if he's betting. Snap call on the right-hand side. Doug.
What happened here? Replay booth. Go, go, go. How do we show the chat? So Daniel checks the flop. Okay. Turn. This does fall in line. Deeper stack. You're gonna want to have a lot of checks.
First continuation betting on a very high frequency.
Right, because the stack to pot is higher. So you're gonna want to have some more checks, but you also want to have some check raises. You want to have some pretty, because you're trying to lower the SPR when you have the polar ends of your range.
Makes sense.
Like the gut shot straight flushes and the sets. And
So
the two pairs.
you're going with a range. You're on this board, this steep. You have some small bets. You have some check raises.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Makes sense. Interesting. Sounds challenging to balance. Yeah, that's what makes it fun, though, right?
It's fucking tough, man. Poker's hard. Poker. You remember that video you made?
Poker is fucking hard.
You're just on a playground, like
I'm
riding
on a
the
playground.
dinosaur.
That's all we had. Me and Joe. Shout out to Big J, Hungry Man. Oh yeah, people. I helped to produce a music video over my break when I was out cold. But we'll get to that afterwards. Right hand side, Doug Polk overbets. Left hand table, Doug Polk goes for that 2/3 pot.
Oh! He goes for the check all the way down.
Wow.
He laid the trap. Get the truck.
Which truck?
To get the one of him falling.
That's not a falling off the railroad truck.
It's like we need to find a middling sized truck then.
We need to find a smaller truck then for hands like that. 4-bet. 4-bet.
Get the truck. And then I'll say my point.
He calls.
Oh.
This could be it.
Did Doug just 4-bet, right?
Yeah, Doug 4-bet. Daniel called. $44,000 behind. What's going to happen here? The truck is pulling into the station right now. He's backing up, preparing to take a load off. He bets 1/5 pot.
Yep.
Will the truck delivery make it to the bank? Uh-oh, Daniel calls.
The queen turn is actually pretty solid for Daniel because he's going to have more queen X than over pairs.
Okay.
But Doug is also going to have like ace queen and stuff too. But this is a pretty easy spot to check and then see what happens. It's also nice if Daniel has a hand like tens to where a second queen makes it less likely Doug has a queen. But this is a very interesting board texture.
Well, here we go. Doug does check back. Queen, 8-8 deuce, 4-bet pot pre-flop. Check call on the flop by Daniel. Little over a pot-sized bet left here. Daniel, very small
like this
bet,
bet.
$6,800.
I like this bet. He's pressuring hands like tens, jacks, ace highs. I'm a fan. Look, there it is, the block bet.
The block bet and the 4-bet pot. The truck has been backing up. This truck is on a fucking runway right now, waiting to get delivered. Will all
There it is.
in? Here we go.
All in.
Wow. Doug Polk checks back turn, shoves the river versus the block bet. You got to have some strong hands in your block bet range, as Landon just said. Do you think he's got an 8 maybe? A flush?
I think you could have an 8. Or
He
a flush.
folds, takes it down.
A flush is actually very possible.
Aye. Big pot goes Doug Polk's
I
way.
like how for this YouTube channel, it's like a 6,000 subscribers special of having these. It's like a special. It's like a special treat for you today is these sounds. Enjoy them.
Aye. Nice hand for Doug Polk. Takes it down. Looks like he goes back in the lead for this match. Poker Star says you can't 5-bet if you never 5-bet fold.
It's true.
That's
so
true.
It's just rare. It's
Yeah.
obviously you're not really putting in 5 bets with nothing.
Yeah.
You're basically gonna have like your aces, your kings, and then like some weird non-intuitive hands.
Straight flush.
Straight flush.
Holy shit. Dan Negreanu with a straight flush there on the right-hand table.
Straight flush.
Let's see what we got here. So Daniel, queen 3 of hearts. Check flop. Leads the turn with the flush. Rivers the straight flush. Goes for about 3/4 pot. And Doug calls pretty quickly. And Daniel takes down a nice pot. $11,000 goes his way. So Daniel.
It's interesting, the river bet.
You think
Because
so?
when you have the queen of hearts, you also block high heart second call. But Doug is also just calling any heart. And Doug also might value bet a heart. So a check there might actually be a really good idea. But I actually like betting as well because if Doug has the king of hearts, he's clearly going to raise.
Speaking of running Sims, 4-bet from Doug Polk here. The
Doug,
truck driver.
He's
We
backing
haven't got
it
a
up.
sound effect here in a bit. Let's put it on there for all time. Maybe we'll see some. Daniel calls. We're going to see some here, boys.
This is a really good board for Daniel. He just has a lot more of like that connected wolf packy 8-6 sort of.
Wolfpacky, okay.
I know about the wolf pack. You know about the wolf pack?
What's the Wolfpack?
The wolf pack are these middling cards.
So this is a Wolfpack kind of
This
texture.
is a Wolfpack board.
Well, Doug Polk makes a very, very tiny bet here. 44.66, a very small size bet here.
Yep.
Daniel, 4,200 behind. Can Doug Polk back the truck up into Daniel Negreanu here?
See, he goes for the little raise.
He goes
I
for
like
a little
this.
check raise, Wolfpack style.
Wolfpack.
Will the truck
I would
run off
probably
the
be
rails?
interested in like running this hand later and seeing if like Daniel doesn't just have some flop leads, just outright leads.
Yeah, he does take it down here, guys. But yeah, it's something. I don't know. Online poker now, poker world right now, it's a different time because with COVID and live poker's kind of been taken away for a lot of people, even though there are a lot of poker players that are playing a lot, but the tournaments necessarily there aren't many going on. So it's just a different vibe in the American poker scene right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Poker's kind of coming back a little bit for these live stuff.
Yeah.
Poker's kind of coming back, which is good.
Yeah, poker is definitely coming. I mean, it's booming in a lot of places too. Texas, it's booming.
Texas is booming. I'm actually going to December with Matt
Yeah.
and Chin for the Solve for Why guys. Gonna go down to a card house there. I guess they're doing something.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, be a fun experience.
Couple pots here going. Left-hand side, Doug leads that very small bet. Right-hand side, Daniel check calls on the queen. See what happens here. Daniel calls the left-hand side.
Got a big pot on the right.
A big pot on the right. Daniel check called the big bet on the turn. Doug's going to lose on the
Doug-
left-hand side. Overbet on this right-hand side for Doug.
Doug is basically representing that he has the queen where he does not have the queen. Because
Well-
on this queen, you're going to want to do a lot of checking because Daniel's going to call with some more queens than he is.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you got to put your foot down if you have a hand like pocket eights for eights full, unblocking the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Be a very good hand to do this with because you get called by the queen. And then you win the pot.
Yeah, makes sense. What about bluffs here? What kind of bluffs do you think you would have?
It would have to be open-ended draws.
He calls, and he does have
And
the
he
queen
does have the
six.
queen. There it is.
Yeah, it's a huge pot. Goes Doug Polk away. $78,000 pot.
Get that. Everyone at home, you got to pull the truck horn. Everyone at home, I can't see you, but I would like to see you do the exact same motion of the truck horn.
A 4-bet from Doug Polk. We've seen him 4-betting a lot, and Daniel lays it down quickly. Left-hand table, Doug 3-bets, and Daniel calls.
But yeah, so I'm still getting used to this whole camera stuff because it's hard to like look straight. That's why I'm like staring at you, but I'm not staring. I'm just.
Don't let the chat get to you. Just do what you got to do, buddy. More staring is better.
I had a big piece. I had a very big piece. I did good.
Left-hand table,
What am I gonna do with $200,000? I'm gonna do nothing.
hooker. You know what you can do with the money.
Bump out.
We didn't even do that yet. We'll whip that out later. Right-hand table, really good board for ace-king. Let's see if Doug puts the full,
He could very easily.
puts the maximum amount here.
Steamrolls it.
He
Steamrolls
didn't
it.
do it. He didn't do
Did
it.
he 3-bet?
He 3-bet pre-flop. Oh, he goes showdown the
He
ace.
checks
king.
it.
Wah. Rob
definitely.
Manjura, great question. Joey, what impact do you think Daniel's coaching is having on this outcome? There's a lot of chatter that Daniel has several top-tier coaches. How far do you think that moves the line? So he definitely has great players around him, great coaches, very well-studied players. There are a lot of very well-studied players out there these days who are capable of explaining how to do certain things or certain heuristics. And if you're someone who's knowledgeable at poker like Daniel is, I think it'd be easier for you to pick up. So if him and his team are, if they're studying these, if they're watching him play right now, and if they're going over the hands and they're going, Daniel, let's work on a few of these spots. Daniel comes out next time, plays those spots better. You know, that's going to have a large amount of outcome. There's a reason why teams have coaches. The coaches help out the players who might not be able to see things that other people can't see. So I think it has a huge. Now, how far does that move a line? I don't know. It's a good question. What do you think, Landon?
Well, I think the line was made with that
That
in mind. Yeah. Like people knew that Daniel was getting coaching from specific people, and they decided that the line at 4-1 was a reasonable line to set.
Mm-hmm.
And then the market has
Yeah, the
decided
market
to
decided-
speak.
Exactly.
The market has
yeah.
spoken for itself.
I mean, if everyone comes out and says they're all slamming the 4-1, well, then the market's gonna
Then
shift
okay,
and
then maybe
gonna
it's
go
gonna be
down.
like 3-1, or
Right,
maybe it's gonna be like 2-1.
exactly.
Like
And
that's
who
that's
knows-
how like sports markets work.
Well, yeah, I think they have
Like
better
for sports-
models
like
for
for
this.
sports
There's really
betting,
no
sure,
model
sure.
for this, right?
No,
we
there's
have
not.
we have a debatably one of the top Nolan home players that heads up of all time versus one of the top poker players overall of all time.
Like
So-
live tournament pros, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it could easily be that like Daniel's actually only like a 2-1 dog here. It could be,
it could be, right?
Sure,
I mean,
like
yeah.
I don't know what the actual line is, but like if that's the case, which we'll never know, if people like slam Daniel at 4-1, then they made a plus EV investment. But
Yeah, here we
if
go.
if Doug's winning this 80% of the time, then it's not. Well, no, it actually is. It'd be break even getting 4-1, but
You don't sports bet, buddy. It's okay.
numbers are hard, man.
Don't sports bet.
Numbers
Stay away
are-
from sports betting. I'm glad. I don't even want you to.
I don't really, numbers are fucking hard, man. It's difficult.
Calm down. Daniel facing a big bet here. 14,000 from Doug.
Is the young man speeding? Is the question.
Is Doug Polk speeding here, getting a lot of line? Will the truck come off the rails? We might have our first truck animation for people that just joined the chat from Upswing.
Oh yes,
He does call.
and he is a flush. He's a straight
Aye,
and a
aye.
flush. He's a
Nice.
straight
What
plus
a big
flush.
Massive.
Get the
hand
horn.
there.
Get the horn.
Back that truck up.
Back the truck
The
up.
truck horn comes out as Doug Polk takes down a nice size pot, $48,000 there.
Back up the truck.
Let me see if we can pull that bad boy up here. People.
From what we've seen so far at Showdown, Doug seems to be having the goods and the services.
Seriously, I haven't seen him.
Doug seems to have them in the bigger pots at the moment.
Keep up the good work, man. I wonder who Lex has in this match. So I think this actually is done. So, well, you tune in to the end, guys. We appreciate you for tuning in. We had a lot of people, 4,600 people watching right now.
Yeah.
Very, very cool, man. Landon, thanks a lot. Thanks everybody out there for tuning in. And we are going to be back. Doug definitely crushed it that last hour. I think he ended up about $100,000. So Doug is going to be up for the match about $75,000.
Which, by the way, is only 2 buy-ins. So
It's anyone games, guys. It's still early. Very impressed by Doug's play, and and Daniel's
Thank you,
play
Lex.
too.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Lex taking grants in the score.
We got
for
it
you.
done. We got it done.
Good job, kid. Did you
I
win
had-
that
it was-
PLO? Wasn't Lex playing a pop event? Lex, how'd that go? We heard in the chat that you were like chip leading or so you were killing or something like that. So how did it go? But yeah, guys, appreciate all the good words, kind words. This is 10 Expert and ESPN coverage. I don't know about that. Those guys are really good at what they do.
They're really fucking
I doubt
good.
it, but
We're just having fun.
Yeah, man.
Talking some poker.
Yeah, base. This is kind of what we do all the time, man. If you guys enjoyed it, smash the like button. It's really good to be back. It's good to be back on YouTube. Good to be back making content in the poker community. Look forward to catching up with what's happening out there.
I backed the truck up on the live tournament scene. We came in.
You're killing it, buddy. Keep up the good
Play
work, man.
the beeping sound.
Well, we're gonna
Not that one.
We're gonna be back soon.
The beeping sound.
Well, that's it, guys. The tables are closing. Lex says 5th for 33,000.
There it is. Not bad.
Not bad at all, brother. Not bad at all.
All in a day's work.
People say what happened to my podcast. I've been
Coming back.
Coming back. It's coming back, brother. Jeans89. Yeah, Jeans89 is debatably one of the top PLO players of all time.
Yeah.
And, the guy's a fucking god.
Got
so.
Jeans 89. Yep.
But guys, we're gonna be back.
You got
on-
Jeans 89 in the biggest part of your career.
No, I beat him.
Yeah, you got him.
I crushed him.
Yeah, you got Jeans.
I know.
No, I mean you jeans.
I know.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Hell yeah.
I want to thank all the moderators doing a great job today. Moonlight Master, my man Cam, Shelby, of course, my lovely lady. Thank you very much, babe. And everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome. I appreciate all the very, very kind messages about the comeback. And I'll talk more about kind of where I've been, what I've been working at, kind of what I've been going through in my own life a little bit, kind of give you guys a little bit more insight on that and my takeaways and what I've learned. And we'll be back Wednesday, same time, 5:30 Eastern time, 2:30 Pacific time, me and the kid, Big Landon. Hopefully he wins the tournament by then. And
You have a tournament to play.
I got to play a tournament today since Doug Polk 5x all in the river.
3x.
Whatever it is, what it is. All right, guys, take care.